Hi, welcome to my studio. I'm Jess. I'm a collage artist and I'm super happy that you're here. So I imagine that at least a few of you are artists yourselves, and I know as myself being an artist, I really like to see other people's spaces and see how they organize their art studios. So that's what this is. Before having this giant desk, I had a vanity table that I had gotten years ago when I was a little bit more into makeup, and was an okay workspace. It was a terrible workspace. I don't know why I'm trying to make it sound better than it is. It was tiny. It was so small, I really couldn't do anything on it. I usually just packed all of my stuff upstairs onto the coffee table. So yeah, the first thing I want to talk about is my cool desk. So this desk came from the university supply surplus. It didn't have drawers in it, so I got a pretty good price for it. What I really loved about it though was how thick and sturdy it was, because I mean, this is solid wood. This is not IKEA. Nothing wrong with IKEA. I've had many IKEA bookshelves and couches in my life, but I really wanted something that would feel sturdy, and that's what this does. Not having drawers was not really a big problem because I have really crafty people in my life who helped me figure out a solution for not having drawers, which was to take these pieces of, I don't know, some kind of board, and they rip them down to the right sizes needed to put inside the drawers as bottoms. So now instead of drawers, I have little shelves that go super deep as the desk is, which is several inches. I guess I could measure it. Hold on. This is an 18-inch ruler. It's at least one about there. What's 18 plus 15 and a half? 30. It's like 32 inches, which is awesome. Really helpful because I have a lot of weird stuff. Anyone who does crafts and art knows like just the amount of oddly shaped items you end up collecting is astronomical. So the desk is really great and it's one of my favorite things in the room. Okay, moving on. I recently had my husband put up these shelves for me, which are amazing. They hold a lot of stuff that used to sit on top of my desk. I still have lots of things that sit on top of my desk, but I do feel like now things are a little bit more elevated, within reach, but not necessarily crowding into my space. I like to make books, so I have a paper cutter that I got for Christmas from my parents-in-law, which is so lovely. I got this corner rounder from my husband. The second major piece of furniture that is specific for my crafting is this cabinet. Also came from the university surplus. The cool thing about it is it has this cabinet here. In an office environment, this would hold someone's like suit jacket, but for me, it holds my smock for painting as well as my blue jumpsuit, which I like to wear when I craft. Then I have two drawers. The first drawer is a hot mess. I definitely would love it if someone had ideas for how to make this better, but right now it's kind of holding a hodgepodge of things and craft materials, paper. It also has like some electronic stuff in here. And then in the bottom drawer, I have lots of sewing knickknacks, notions, lace, you name it. On the side of this lovely thing are bookshelves. These are holding all of the books that I don't want to use in my crafting, but I like to keep. And on top of the cabinet, I have things like glue in this bottom little drawer and then paint on this top one. So on the side of my desk are my books, and honestly, this is not a good solution, but I don't have another in mind, and honestly, if someone else had any ideas, I would be totally open to hearing them. I just don't feel like this room can really handle another big piece of furniture, so putting in more bookshelves feels like a lot. Also, these books are quite heavy. I like the sturdiness of the ground. And I like having two piles because when I want something, I want to have less to dig through, if that makes sense. It being only slightly buried is slightly better, right? I have my books only slightly organized in the sense that I try to keep the bigger, heavier, sturdier books on the bottom and anything floppy on the top. And in the between the two stacks, I keep some of my magazines just because they have a tendency to slide. And that's it. That's my studio. Let's talk a little about the things that I don't really like. This room is very dark, and I have an overhead light, which is one of those standard apartment boob lights. It's not really useful. It doesn't give off a whole lot of light. And I have one window that is pretty shaded most of the time. It's a lovely view into my back garden, and I really appreciate even this one window. But, you know, if I had $1 million, I'd love a whole wall of windows. I'd love it to be, I don't know, facing where the sun comes up and for it to never be shaded. But the reality is that that's not something that I have access to. And honestly, a lot of people don't have access to that sort of thing. So I've definitely made do, and I'm very happy with the window that I have, as well as an overhead desk lamp that I also use to hold my phone whenever I'm filming. What I love about my studio is that it's mine and it's my personal space, and I'm very lucky to have that. The most important thing is that it's a sanctuary, and it's my space to be creative and messy if I need to be messy, and vulnerable when I need to be vulnerable. All right. Tour over. Thanks so much for visiting me here in my studio today. I really enjoyed having you visit. I know that this was a bit different from my usual kind of thing, and we'll go back to regular stuff next video, but yeah, I like this kind of video. I wasn't sure if it would be something anyone else would be interested in, but I also am honestly really looking forward to any feedback that people might have. I don't know. Okay, bye. See ya. Have a good one. Bye. Bye.